Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Farming Simulator 15 with me, Brad M73. Let's see, we are picking up a little bit after the last episode. I haven't really done too much except for, put vehicles in place where they need to be. And if all is still the same, yeah, we still have, wait a second. Yeah, we still have a great demand for potatoes at the shipping office. So I am essentially filling up my tractor, which is almost full, or the tipper actually, and we're going to go and sell all of the potatoes. And again, we have to go up to the shipping office. So, hello. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But in order to not bore you guys completely to death, I'm going to time lapse this. I might talk a little bit before I time lapse the whole thing, but yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, it's today's November 18th, 2014. This should be episode 18, so we're moving along quite well. I didn't do any episodes over the weekend. I was kind of anticipating the release of Alpha 10 for 7 Days to Die, which is a really fun Minecraft-like, though not Minecraft-like, survival horror game. If you guys haven't checked that out, you might want to check out some of my videos on it. It's quite a bit of fun, especially if you guys like Minecraft. I don't even play Minecraft anymore because I like 7 Days so much. So yeah, I was kind of anticipating that, though, it looks like it's going to get pushed out later this week. And I do want to, start a Let's Play series on that. So that will be out fairly soon, probably this coming weekend. And I hope to have this video out, just later today for you guys, because it's been a couple days since I last published a video. Let's see, what else has been going on? I released a video for Recycle, the garbage truck simulator, last week, and the patch, they'd released a patch, so I decided to make a video, and the patch introduced a whole slew of new problems. I've been warning people not to buy it because the game is unplayable. I mean, it's semi-playable, but yeah, it strongly fails to deliver upon what it promises. So, if the game even looks remotely similar, or I'm sorry, remotely appealing to you guys, I highly recommend you save your money and don't buy it. Yeah, because the publisher's been, the actual developer is kind of blaming everything on the publisher now. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, I guess, that's Actalogic for you. So, I should have known better than to waste my money on the game. Yeah, 80s music. Alright, so we're heading back. Again, this episode, I want to, sell all these potatoes and then buy the Ponsse Scorpion. One of my viewers has actually challenged me to use the Ponsse Scorpion directly fill one of the trailers. So I don't know if I'm going to get that far this episode. Hopefully we will. Yeah. So I tell you what, so I don't bore you guys to death with the the rest of this buying and selling of, or not buying, but loading and selling of potatoes. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this, and so we'll get through this in about a minute. I'll play some neat music, and hopefully you enjoy the nice little hyperlapse time lapse. So we'll see you back in just a moment. this is the last load of potatoes. You can see them all spraying out of the back of my truck. So let's see, that got us up to just under 250,000 euros, not dollars. And I'm going to jump out here for a second because if we go into the menu, oh wait a second, wrong one. If we go into the shop here, in the last episode, I was saying, well, I want to buy a Ponsse Scorpion King, and we need $317,000. So we need to turn 250,000 into 370,000, 17,000. So in order to do that, we're gonna have to borrow some money. Luckily, we don't have a loan right now, so we should be able to borrow about 70,000. Yeah, it should be all right. And let's go in and buy our Ponsse Scorpion. Yay! We got the Scorpion. Okay, so now we're broke and in debt. The next thing I need to do is, well, he's almost up here, so we need to pull this guy up to the the forest where we want to do our logging, and probably need to find a few good trees with which to log, or of which to log. I don't know. I think I see one back there, so let's kind of back this guy down the hill here a little bit, like so. All right, and now we're going to tab through our vehicles until we get to the Scorpion. All right, so there we go, guys. Doesn't really look like a scorpion all that much, except for the arm. That's why it is named such. One thing that's kind of cool is when you jump out, the little step folds down, because I guess you would probably turn this left or right and jump out of your door and walk down the little steps. Unfortunately, we get out far before the steps even unfold. So this is the tree grabbing arm. Look at all the little intricate details to the little coupler there. This is the part that actually grabs onto the wheel, and you can see there's a big huge chainsaw blade right there. That's actually what cuts it. And then there's these little arms on the bottom and on the top. That's actually what grabs the wheels, or I'm sorry, the trees. And then these wheels here to the left and right, they're actually a lot sharper than they look here, but that's actually what grabs the tree and moves the tree along the length of the cutter, so that it can cut it. And it's computer controlled too, so that it'll move the tree at pre-measured lengths or preset lengths, and cut accordingly. And then here we can just see more of the lighting. Whoops, looks like LED lights on the sides there, which help to illuminate the front and the sides and everything. And then this is the engine compartment in the back, with probably access and tools, and I don't know where you fill the sucker up at. Where's the fuel port? That's probably under one of these little panels somewhere. So that's it, guys. And one other thing I was going to try to do is sell one of my chainsaws, and I don't think I can actually do that. Yeah, I think once you buy, I think I have all three. Yeah, I have all three chainsaws. Luckily, the Husqvarna is now in position 1. How that happened, I have no idea, but I'm glad it did, because that's the one I want to use most of all. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and drive this bad boy up to the forest where we need to cut it. Driving's pretty simple. We can see the interior of the cab, which oddly doesn't really have any I don't really see any joysticks. I see these two kind of, it's almost like a palm rest with maybe like thumb joysticks. If you see like the 4 buttons dead center, just above those, there's kind of like a little, almost looks like a slot for your thumb. So maybe that's how, you know, in the real world these things are controlled. So that's pretty cool. And the cutter, I believe, just hangs freely, so that's why it's kind of swaying when we, you know, move back and forth and side to side. But drives pretty good. Not incredibly fast, but seems to be doing all right so far. And now it's really going to bog down since we're going up a tree. We also have this view here, which is kind of like a boom view of the cutter. And then this is our, you know, normal external view here, with our little guy in there. And you can see the exhaust coming out of the exhaust manifold there, I guess, or the exhaust pipe. I guess it's not really a manifold. Supposedly there's some mods out for the Ponsse Scorpion. A lot of them are just reskins. I've seen a couple mods where the tracked tires, basically the tracks have been removed. And then I've also seen another mod where the Scorpion is painted more of a forest green color instead of the black and yellow. So let's go ahead and drive into the forest here. I need to go over there so we can begin cutting down some trees. Okay, so I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Okay, well, the first thing we're gonna need to do, if I am to directly load onto this trailer, is we're gonna put the supports down and we're gonna move the crane out of the Zave. The next thing we'll need to do is come up to the tree here. Now, I can't rotate this view or anything, but I can hit B. That will turn the machine on. And then I would move this out to the tree and probably extend the arm a bit. It does take a little bit of getting used to, so let's switch to this camera view. Oh, that's as far out as I can go, I guess. And we'll go ahead and hit X to cut. And we'll reel in the thing there. Now this is where it's going to get a lot tougher because I can't exactly jump out of the Scorpion to cut the logs. So what I'm going to try to do is, if I can, I think we're going to have way too much of an angle here, guys. Yeah, it's not really going to go anywhere. What I can do, this is probably a bit on the extreme side, but we'll give it a try, I guess. Not sure if I can use this other tree as leverage to kind of move it around. No, there's too many trees in here. That is not going to work. And it's going right back to where we started. So, yeah, that basically did absolutely nothing. You know, this is kind of like the luck of the draw. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at the cut length up at the top left in the controls. You can see currently we have the cut length, the 1 meter, which is going to make little short lengths, and that's not what we want. So we want to hit O until we get to the maximum, which is 5 meters. If you hit O again, it just reverts back to 1 meter. Some people have said they'd like to go out to like 6 or 7 meters, but yeah. So let's go ahead and cut a length and see what happens here. And yeah, it's just gonna fall right off. This can be done, guys. It can actually be done where you can, you know, cut the log lengths to fall right into the trailer. But it just, it's a lot easier to do in multiplayer because then you can, there I'm kind of getting it, but not really. I'm just gonna cut them all here, and then we'll pick up the remainder with the yeah, there we go. All right, so we'll pick up the remainder with the crane on the truck. Now, one thing that's nice about this in using the Scorpion is that, you know, it cuts all the logs to uniform length. Some people have said that, well, you know, you're better off taking the logs to, you know, the lumber yard or taking the whole tree because you get more money for longer logs. Honestly, I'm not exactly sure if that's true. I think that you know, 5 meters is pretty much going to be the cutoff for the length of the logs. Anything beyond that, I think, is going to be kind of a bonus. Oh, I'm going to come up this way and rotate. Let's go the other way. Zoom in and open. Bonk. Alright, there's one. We're probably going to have to reposition the trailer here because I can already tell that some of those logs are going to be out of reach. There's that one. But I mean, I think overall the Scorpion's pretty cool. I think it's gonna really help, you know, speed up the, you know, getting trees. Or I don't know, maybe it won't. Maybe it'll just slow things down, which we don't want. Okay, can I get this log? I should be able to get that one. Yeah. Man, I really wish we could reverse the controls. You have no idea how badly. It just seems completely you know, opposite to me the way I would intuitively want to control the mouse. Maybe it's just a personal preference, I don't know. But that's, you know, really the only problem I'm really having with the game so far. Still haven't heard anything on a patch though, so yeah, who knows? We may get one, we may never get one. Alright, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna be able to get these last two, hopefully. This one's going to be a bit trickier. Yep. Okay, and it didn't go too bad. Okay, and I'm not sure. I might have to just grab onto this guy, kind of lift and pull. No, it's not going to work. Okay. Whoops. Let's go ahead and move the tractor, I guess. Okay. So I don't know if this is faster or shorter than what I was doing before, but yeah, I don't know. I know when I first started out this series and I was, first talking about this trailer and the crane and how difficult it was to use, I can't say that it's absolutely perfect, and that is only because we can't reverse the controls. I think if we were able to reverse the controls, I would like it a lot better. Until we get that, though, guys, it is kind of a pain. However, it's not nearly as much of a pain as I thought it was going to be. And I say that largely based on my experience with the crane truck in spin tires, which, if you guys have played spin tires, you probably know what a massive pain that thing was to move and pick up logs with. It was essentially impossible to pick up a log, at least not without maybe a game controller or something else. I don't think I was ever able to even remotely pick up a log in that game. So I was really kind of afraid that this was going to be a repeat of that experience, and by and large it hasn't been, so that's good. Okay. Pick that up, get that out of the way. Hello. Down. Whoop. Down. Probably even bring us up. There, it's nice and balanced. Hello. Can I get a... Oh yeah, I can get a... Now this would be cool. This would be a really good point of view if you had an Oculus Rift and things were actually three-dimensional. That would be freaking amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay. Come on, let go. Now, can we get this guy? Now, we do have kind of a shadow there we can use as a reference. Yeah, we should be able to get it. Okay, come on. Do we get it? Oh, yeah. Whoa. Kind of lagging a little bit there. I'm not sure what that was all about. I think the trailer was shifting. That thing's all over the place. Alright, so let's turn that around. And we'll bring this down here. All the way down and open. Alright. Oh, the trailer really shifted over there on me. Okay, let's move this out. And let's move this down. Kind of keep the logs from shifting around. And we will shift that up. And we're ready to go sell our log. So that is the that's our first use of the Ponsse Scorpion. Pretty cute. So now in the next episode I'll come back and everything will be completely deforested. I have heard of some people just going through and just cutting down like all the trees. That's all they're doing. They're not even selling them. I know currently in the multiplayer environment, it is very, very laggy when you cut the trees so quickly, because usually you're going to get, you know, the one guy who's like, oh my god, Ponsse Scorpion, oh, I gotta have it. And they just go crazy cutting trees down. It is, I mean, it's really fun to use, but you kind of have to work together as a team in order to, you know, be able to load up the trees or the logs, and you know, if somebody's just going crazy, constantly cutting down the trees, then it's not really going to work too well, because you just get so many logs laying around that you don't know what to do with. And in a multiplayer environment right now, it is incredibly loggy and laggy. I do want to try this one more time. I had a bunch of people that are telling me, back up your trailer under the train. You'll be able to sell it, you know, sell it just by backing it up. I tried this before, guys, and it's kind of a crapshoot. As you can see, nothing is selling so far. We already lost a log. Yeah, so you guys can see right there, I am backing this sucker up and nothing is happening. Yeah. Maybe we can try it up here. There seems to be kind of a little bit of a wider gap. I am not remaining overly confident that that's going to work, though, and it does not appear to be working. Yeah. So you guys that told me to back it up, I don't know why I am not able to do what you guys are doing, but obviously, you know, it's not really working within reason. So we're going to go and sell the logs. Like that. Oh, let's go ahead and just grab this one really quick. You know what's kind of funny about the opening and closing jaw movement is I actually want to use the same movement to both open and close the jaws, or the claws, or whatever you want to call it. See, like, to me, like, opening would be pushing forward, pulling back would be closing. That would seem a much more intuitive you know, movement for me. I just heard a UPS truck pull up. This is I I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to my previous videos, but back in late August, I actually had I have a Logitech G35 headset that basically broke. The little side piece on it just began crumbling apart, and it's been this 2 month long. Took over 2 months for them to. They actually issued the warranty claim, as soon as I called in. However, it took them about 2 months to get me the shipping label, which they had promised on the very first day or second day, because they needed photographs of the break on the headset. And so I sent that to them, same day, right after speaking with them on the phone, and within 24 hours they said, "Oh yeah, that's we're gonna get a shipping label out to you so that you can ship your headset back." And I thought, great. Well, 24 hours came and went, no shipping label. Another 24 hours came and went, no shipping label. Emailed, called them up, nothing. And so back in mid-October, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna really be kicking recording into high gear. I want to be able to record for my YouTube channel. And so I called them up and I said, this has been ongoing for over a month. Where's my shipping label? I check my email every day, all day. No tracking, no shipping label. Oh, we'll get it to you in 24 hours. And, it just kept dragging on for like another week. And I finally had to threaten them and basically say, look, I'm going to just totally bash Logitech products on my YouTube channel if you don't get this. I mean, this is just ridiculous that it has to take so long. And so finally I got a guy who, I guess, he stood by what he what he told me, and he said, okay, I'll make sure that this gets taken care of. So there's a guy in India somewhere who apparently did his job, unlike all the other guys in India who didn't. And yeah, it was just really frustrating. So anyway, they finally got my headset sent out to me. I don't know, got here like first week of November. I actually had to go out and buy a second G35, which, the first one broke. Why would I get a second one? Well, I don't really know. Maybe I'm an idiot. That's probably it. Oh, come on. Just pick up the log. Do it now. Maybe I'll get it from the end. So anyway, last week, after I'd already received my replacement, I got another email saying, hey, we're shipping you another replacement. So now I'm kind of like, are they actually going to ship me a second, replacement, or what the heck's going on here? So every time I hear the UPS truck drive by, it's kind of like, is he going to drop something off? And it sounded like the UPS truck right there. All right, so we had like, 2,000 something euros. We got 21,000. We'll go ahead and send the train off. And this looks like it's probably going to give us, exactly what, an actual tree, full-length tree would give us anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an episode, because I get a lot of people that say, just place a bunch of trees, next to the pond, saw them off, and drag them into the pond. Well, first of all, that's cheating, guys. I mean, let's be real. That's as cheaty as you can get. Now, I've gone that route. My buddy Hemi and friend Blue Star, we got a multiplayer service server up and going, and that's kind of what we did. We basically would buy trees, plant them up here on the ridge, because you can't plant them like right next to the water. We'd cut them down and roll them into the water and push them into the water with our tractors. And we did that to, just kind of as a, let's get started and get a bunch of money so that we can play with with the multiplayer aspects of the game, because we had just, just bought the game, just got the server up, and we wanted to kind of play around, see how multiplayer was working, and so on and so forth. So that's what we did. And but for actually playing the game, doing it that way, it's not realistic. It's very cheaty to me, and so I'm not going to do it. I'm gonna, I already kind of cheated enough by taking individual logs over to the sawmill, the lumber mill, with the front loader. So I kind of want to get away from doing that and, do things, kind of the right way, by, buying more trailers and so on and so forth. And again, I do want to eventually get into, we want to get the, what is it, the Ponsse Buffalo. I think my next purchase is probably going to be the gens here, the wood chipper. Now, I have heard that it is bugged. I'm just going to have to play with it. I have not even tried it yet. So maybe like in the next episode or something like that, I'll work towards buying one of those, or maybe, I'll just do a load of trees off screen so that you guys, we can just come back and buy the gens and play around with it and see how it works. But I think after that, it's probably going to be the Ponsse Buffalo. If not immediately, then definitely down the road. And I also want to start getting into farming quite a bit more. Let's see here. Yeah, we've got field 24, 29, 38 still. I want to buy 25 and 30. Let's see, how much? I wonder if I have enough money to buy one of those fields right now. Jump into our fertilization tractor here, little guy. I definitely want to I definitely want to swap this fertilizer tractor out for something with a lot less daily maintenance, and because I think these are pretty expensive to operate because they're older. I do like the look of this tractor. Plus, it's kind of underpowered. I was thinking about using the the small blue New Holland that you can double as a front loader. Using that I think would be a pretty good idea. All right, so what do we have here? So we got 39. Let's go ahead and buy this field, and we'll get our seeder, and then we'll buy field 30 as soon as we can. So so yeah, we got our Ponsse Scorpion. We will be trying to get some more farming going here. I'll just have him fertilize our new field. And okay, we'll have to get him back up. We'll have to get this guy back up because he's the one that we need to drive our seeder. And plus, I need to wash the trailer off. And actually, the trailer's not really all that dirty. I like, there's some things that, I've really been nitpicky about this game. Like the controls on the cranes and things like that. But it is a nice update. I mean, heck, even the map. I think if Giants were to release a new map like every 6 months to 1 year, like an official map, I think I would be happy, because I appreciate mod maps, but by and large, they're just so buggy or incomplete, and you know, small issues with them never get fixed, or sometimes they do, and then other issues crop up. Where I haven't really found any major map issues. I mean, sure, there's things graphically like I hate the look of the lighthouse at night, and some other things, but for the most part, I really do enjoy this map. It actually kind of reminds me of the mod map for 2013, Two Rivers. Now that's a map that would really lend itself well to Farming Sim 13 because there were a lot of forests in that map. It would be absolutely epically awesome. So whoever did the Two Rivers map, if you watch my videos, please, please, please convert it to and improve it for Farming Simulator 15. That would be super awesome. Yeah. So anyway, I guess I'll just drop the trailer off over here, and then we'll have to figure out where our cedar is. Is it over there? Yeah, it's over there. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I can do it with that one, I guess. Well, what to do? Okay. What do? I know what do. I know what I want to do. I want to buy a plow. And the reason why I want to buy a plow is I want to start joining up my fields up here. But I don't want to do it with this one. I need a bigger one. So I'm going to take this plow down and sell this one. Even it's a nice looking plow, but it's just small, and I definitely want something larger. So we're probably gonna have to. We're not probably. We're definitely gonna have to borrow some more money. However, not the end of the world. Because we got money to borrow. And, as we buy more fields, we're going to bring in more crops. As we bring in more crops, we're going to get more profits from, our great demands. And again, I have been, trying to wait around for this great demands. So we'll sell that. So we need, let's see, what do we need? I want to buy the Amazon, so we need 22,000, so we'll need 15 grand. Borrow. We're not terribly in debt. That's not too bad. We'll get out of that pretty quickly. Okay. So here is our new Amazon plow. What is this one called? It's the Amazon K-Ron 200. And it's only slightly wider than the red one, but it's wide enough to really make a difference plowing. So we'll take this guy back, and we'll join up some of our fields. Namely, well, we should be able to do 2 fields. Now, with the fields no longer being completely square, it is going to, the difficulty of planting and, harvesting and things like that are going to be complicated. Well, it's going to be more difficult. I already used the word complicated. So, especially until we buy field 30, it's still not a perfectly square field, but at least with field 30, it is a bit easier. It is a bit easier to do that way. So, yeah. So first thing I'm going to want to do is switch this guy around so that it is facing the other way. And I'm going to hit O to allow create fields, and I'm going to drop this guy down. Now I'm going to hit 1, and if you look at the bottom right corner, you can see that the set speed is dropping. I'm going to drop that down to about 5, and I'm going to hit 3. And I'm going to put myself right up here, kind of on the edge. So I want this to carry pretty much straight across. There we go. It's right where I want it. Now I'm looking way over at the tree, way straight in front of us, because I'm wanting to make sure I go nice and slow. Alright, now I can speed up a little bit. I just want to go nice and slow because, you know, I want the field, you know, the boundary, the outside boundary of the field to be, you know, as neat as possible. On the other side, I don't have to be nearly as precise, because I know that, you know, down the road I'm going to be buying field number 30. And we're not going to need to, you know, we're not really going to need to be so, you know, we're going to come back, we're going to dig that up. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of like 3 different things driving my tractor and what I want to say. But yeah, once we buy field number 30, we're going to be, you know, plowing that area up anyway, so it's not really that huge of a deal. So we got that, you know, kind of done there. So yeah, over here, you know, all of this is going to be plowed up, all these roads through here. So, you know, I just want to be able to drop this guy. And like I said, here if I make a mistake, not really all that critical. And yeah, see, I'm already going a little bit wide there. I'm going wide. Okay. So I'll just back this up, which you normally wouldn't do with a tractor. And we'll just continue to plow here. Now, another thing too, that once you get your field plowed, and this is something that I like to do, and hello. Okay, something just became disconnected. Am I still speaking? Yes, I am. Okay. Okay, no idea what that's all about. Anyway, one thing that I like to do is I actually like to turn off limit to fields and kind of re-plow everything, and then cultivate everything. I'll do that off screen because it takes a long time to re-plow the field, especially over the areas that I've just plowed here. But I like to go through and kind of have like a completely fresh slate, I guess you could say, so that I know that, you know, I've kind of gotten all the little grassy areas and things like that out of the way, because otherwise you'll end up with like these little lines and things like that where things don't plant perfectly, and it's, you know, somewhat distracting, I guess. And I don't think we have a cultivator anymore, unless, oh, maybe we do still. No, is that the planter down there? I think that's the planter. Now the planter does have a cultivator on it, so it's not really, you know, a big, huge problem. But, you know, like I said, it's just something that I personally kind of like to do. I also want to do some field tests eventually as to whether or not plowing a field before planting, if that actually does have an effect on, your yield. I'm pretty sure that it does not. However, just like in 2013, I have had people come out and claim that yes, it actually does make a difference. So I don't really know. I don't really know. I've never actually tested it. I've always told myself, yeah, I'll test it. Never did. Sorry, guys. I'm such a farming failure. Okay. So yeah, this is going much faster than if I was to use that little red plow. Believe me, it's a lot faster. And then once I get this one done, I'm going to join those two fields down there together. So we'll turn around and do that really quick. And I'm not really paying attention to time on this episode. I just kind of wanted to do these few things. We got the potato harvest done, or the great demand. I'm sorry, not the harvest. We haven't harvested any potatoes because we don't have the equipment to do that. I do actually want to buy the manual equipment because I want to see if I can hire workers now. In Farming Simulator 2013, if you actually purchased like if we go to beet harvester, like the cutter and the harvester, you had to cut manually, and I think you could hire a worker for the harvester, but you still had to unload and everything like that manually unless you were using Courseplay, which we don't have. So I want to kind of see if the cutting is still, if it still needs to be done manually, or if you can hire a worker to do that. I would really, really hope you can hire a worker to do that, but I don't know. Okay, where... It looks like I got the field harvested here, but I'm not 100% comfortable yet, because I know that there was a considerable gap like right through here somewhere. So just want to go over this area just really quickly again. Okay, I think that'll do it. So let's go down here. Whoa. And again, now these fields, if you look really closely, let me just, hello. Trying to line up the field lines here. Now if you look really super closely, you'll notice that this field and this field don't line up perfectly. It's really going to be a problem if you're OCD. I tend to be a little bit OCD. It's obsessive compulsive. Not really too badly, but I definitely know that there's going to be some people that are just going to flip out, and they're going to want to take the field all the way to the other side. If you decide to do that, just go very, very slowly, and you should be all right. I'm not really... The other thing, in order to do that, is you want to pick a line straight ahead. You want to find... you want to find a target, straight ahead. So, for example, like this tree right here, and we could even use some of the dirt on the windshield so that, that tree doesn't move outside of the a certain area of dirt, so that we know that we're on the same line. I personally think it's a little bit easier to do from outside the tractor. There, see, I'm already off the line, but I will be aligned with the other field, so it's kind of tough to do. Plus, the plow is always wanting to pull you to the, or pull me to the right. So, yeah, it's a little bit difficult to do. I'm not really too worried about it. I mean, in my opinion, that is more than lined up sufficiently for my needs. And I'll just go up and down this a few times, just to kind of plow over these areas here. And again, you want the plow furrows to overlap a little bit. That way, you know, you can make absolutely sure that you get all of the, you know, all of the grassy and roady areas. Roady, is that a word? And unfortunately, you cannot hire a worker to do this. You can hire a worker to plow, but not when create fields is enabled, because otherwise it would just probably go crazy and you'd have, you know, new fields being created all over the place, which might be cool, who knows. Alright, and we're going to hit B, as in Bravo, in order to swap the side of the plow here, and I'm going to drop the plow. Now again, I don't have to be really perfect here, because this I'm eventually going to plow up anyway, so we can kind of fudge this, the inside. I just kind of want to be nice and square with the outer boundaries of my fields. The inner boundaries, since, you know, like I said, since we're going to be coming back and replowing this anyway, not really all that important. Okay. And now we can kind of, you know, we can kind of pick up the speed a little bit. I'm going to switch this back around because I actually like working with the plow to my right and not my left. Personal preference there, guys. And that way we should have enough room to start really joining these fields up. And this is like the weirdest field shape, because it's kind of like a Z shape or an S shape or something. So again, it's not the easiest field to seed or fertilize or harvest, for that matter. But you know, by the time we get to this field harvested, it's going to produce enough that we'll be able to actually buy field number 30, and plus we'll probably have you know, a couple more trees sold by that point to be able to you know, afford it and then join the rest of the fields. So we'll have another plowing episode coming up, joining all of our fields together. And we'll probably have other fields in the future that we will also want to join up. And, you know, like if we look at the map, you know, like maybe fields number 2 and 3, or 22, 27, 32, and 33, or, you know, 37 and 36, or, you know, 34 and 39. Those types of fields. Now, if you're going across a major road, I don't think those can be plowed up. So, you know, you gotta be careful there. But yeah, I mean, we'll see when we get there. You know, for some reason we might maybe want to keep some of the fields separated, but you know, in this case. you know, I think it's kind of good to just join these guys up so that you know, we just have more field to work with. Alright, we are almost done. 2 more passes after this, and we should be good to go. And we'll just, all we'll have to do then is really just plant, really. I mean, we don't really need to cultivate because we already have a cultivator. And at least I don't think we do. I think we sold the cultivator. I'm very unsure now if I have a cultivator or not. I have to go and look. Alright. So this should be the last we'll need to do here. Yep. Alright. So we got that finished. And we can increase the speed to our cruise control now. Yeah, that's the Vaderstadt down there. I'm just going to go cruise by this garage because, like I said, I'm pretty sure we sold that cultivator because we kind of needed the money. And then after the Vaderstadt, we didn't really need to buy another one or need to have a cultivator. Let's drop this off to get washed, and we'll look up in this garage. But like I said, I'm pretty sure we don't have a cultivator. We got our other front loader in there though, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I will. I'll just go get prepared to seed, and then I guess when we come back in the next episode, I'll just start the seeding process, and we will come back and. You know, while we're seeding, I guess we'll cut down some more trees, guys, and we'll have to do some stump removal, I think. Let's see, what do we need to plant right now? We currently have barley. We could probably plant canola. Maybe I'll plant canola this time. Oops, there we go. And then we'll plant barley on field 38. That sounds like a pretty darn good plan, I would say, if I do say so myself. Which I do, because I'm saying it. Brad's crazy. And hopefully this seeder will be able to figure out where the field boundaries are. Alright guys, well, thank you so much for watching. This is Farming Simulator 15. As always, please don't forget to like my videos, and please feel free to comment, share, and subscribe. It always helps me when you guys hit that like button and share. Just lets other people know that I'm out there and that you're watching. And if you subscribe, that's great. Hopefully you'll come back for this and many more game series in the future or in the past. Don't forget, I've got a ton of videos that you can go back and watch. A lot of people do that as well. And my channel's growing. I'm really happy about that. It's really been rapidly growing here in the since Farming Sim 15 came out, or even before then. So I do thank everybody for all the support that I've gotten over the last few weeks and in the last month. And hopefully that'll continue through the future. So thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time for more Farming Simulator 15. I'm Brad M73. We'll see you next time. Bye for now, guys.